So much of our lives are impacted by what we see people doing around us. You can use that as an inspiration to expand what's possible for you, or you can shrink thinking that you don't measure up. What if you channeled your own abilities to progress into your desired life experience instead?
Hello, and welcome to the Connect podcast. This show is all about helping you connect to your soul's calling so you can take action on it. Because the sweetest success is a blend of discovering your purpose with the inner drive to bring it to life. I'm Sheila, health coach, lifestyle entrepreneur, and mom of two, best known for my online wellness programs, mentoring, and self-love passion. Listen in for inspiring interviews, solo chats, and Q&A sessions that will move you past overwhelm towards what lights you up. Stop accepting good enough and go for your version of great in your health, business, and relationships. Let's get started.
Hi, welcome to this Monday minisode where I share an insight designed to help you live into what lights you up this week. It has been so wonderful getting messages over the last few years, ratings and reviews from amazing listeners of this podcast. And I wanted to start sharing them. Today's I'm going to read is from Alex in Essence. Alex says, Sheila's buoyant and joyful energy is contagious. Her messages are full of compassion and wisdom. I listen for the quick solo episodes to find inspiration and lift myself up each week. And her interviews are always fascinating. You'll get so much out of this podcast and fall in love with Sheila on the way. Enjoy. Thank you so much, Alex. I love it. That makes me feel so good. I love hearing from you. I love hearing what you're thinking of these episodes, how they're landing for you. And it's so wonderful to know that I'm not just talking to myself, which I've been known to do from time to time. In fact, when I was ziplining recently, you've heard about that in a recent episode, I was talking myself out loud through some of the process because I was so high up. So that was interesting. My friend told me, you're talking to yourself. I'm like, oh, yes, that's outside. That's not just in my head. So it's wonderful that I am speaking to you. And I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day. You're feeling some hope in your life. And in today's episode, we're talking about how so much of our lives are impacted by what people are doing around us. And we can use that as an inspiration to expand what's possible for us, or we can shrink and we can start thinking that we don't measure up. What if you started measuring yourself against who you were born to be instead of against what other people were doing? The uniquely crafted, one-of-a-kind, miraculous you that has layer upon layer of untapped abilities. What if you owned yourself? I've heard it said many times in my life that people care more about themselves and what's going on in their own lives, often mostly in their inner world, than they do about you. Now, that's not to say that most people aren't compassionate, kind, and generous. In fact, they are. It's just that the things that monopolize their mind or keep them up at night are usually things like their own well-being and that of their immediate loved ones, or their business, something close to them. They may pause a moment to think about what you're up to and then compare it to their own situation. That's often what we do. We see things and then we compare it to what we're going through. There are deep caverns of details spinning in someone's mind at any given time. So while you may feel like someone else has it all together, they're just trying to figure out their life like you and I are. Imagine if we spent more of our lives tuning into and getting curious about what we were each capable of, instead of spending hours chasing the same one or two limiting stories that swirled around in our heads. Can you relate? Or maybe it's just me. I keep a journal and sometimes I look back at certain time intervals. There were always different circumstances going on, but wow, so much of what I wrote sounds the same struggle, the same prayer, the same resolve to move forward for years. Boring. What I'm so grateful for is people, seminars, programs, masterminds, books, podcasts that shifted my thinking over the years to start asking better questions and to start challenging myself in different areas, trying new things, meeting new people, getting curious about nature, the cosmos, technology, investments, business ideas, ways to give, and to get quiet long enough to ask myself, who am I meant to be at this time in my life? I've had many stagnant times in my life, and I've had many times of fast growth. Hello, business, marriage, and motherhood. Asking who I'm meant to be right now challenges me to step out of the box of what my parents, teachers, society have told me to show up as. It forces me to get still and truly to seek my next steps. I'll continue to ask myself this question into my hopefully very long, healthy life. I invite you to ask this of yourself often too. Who were you born to be? What unique gifts do you have that are untapped? How do you want to be remembered after you're gone? Make space for this. Pull out a journal or the notes on your phone and free write. I can't wait to hear what comes up for you. Please DM me, let me know. I want to know how this landed for you. Please feel free also to share this episode with a friend or in your stories. This is something we all need and we all deserve, to live as who we were born to be. I'm close to launching my new app designed to support you in being as powerful in your body as you are in your business and the boardroom. Something my community has shared with me many times is the struggle that they have in staying consistent with their self-care. They may take their vitamins some of the time, but then they go days between where they get so busy in their lives that they barely remember to eat throughout the day. Or they get jazzed to start their shiny new morning routine, but it fizzles after a few days and they get down on themselves. So they procrastinate getting started again. They're amazing at making sure their loved ones make it to the game or practice, but they don't always have the energy to go on a walk or to roll out their yoga mat and to pick up those free weights. All of this leads to them to start talking to themselves in a way that is not supportive, and the words become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Their untapped, vibrant health and well-being gets put off to a date at some point in the future. And someday can feel like it may never come. The biggest shifts I've seen in women and their wellness over the years have come from a glimmer of hope that feeling better is possible. And it began with a thought. I've developed numerous strategies to help a diverse group of people find their sweet spot with their self-care. And if you've been following me all these years, you know how passionate I am about facilitating this. Everyone's life and experience is unique. I've identified systems to personalize your self-care. My one-to-one work is a place where you can go deep and create a strategy that fits your demanding life in a way that creates more open space and breathing room for pleasure to replace stress. This new offering that I'm working on creates a foundation for consistency and progress in caring for your one beautiful self. If you've made it your goal to dial in your self-care so you can feel as strong as your body as you are in your contributions to the world through your life and work, I invite you to learn more. You can go to sheilabatello.com/apply to see the details, and you'll also see it linked in the show notes of this episode. So you can pop over there and tap on sheilabatello.com/apply. I look forward to hearing your story, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Big blessings.
Thank you so much for being here with me on the Connect podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone you think would enjoy it. Also, if you head over to iTunes to leave a review, I'd be so grateful. Let us know what your favorite parts were and what you'd like to hear more of. It will help us have a greater impact, elevating many more people to grow and succeed together. See you next time.